father also served in Hiroshima after he was actually on the ground in Hiroshima after the bomb was dropped. It's interesting. He actually has pictures of it, so it's really amazing. He had a camera, so he took pictures of it. So it's really rather amazing, to say the least. So, all right. Turn on my mic. Yes. It's running awesome. All right. So, by the way, I had a scan, a CT scan, part of my normal part now to make sure my cancer hasn't metastasized, because this type of cancer I got on my wrist tends to. Probably. It might be. I don't know. It's not hurting anything, right? Going into something like that as healthy as you can get definitely doesn't hurt anything, right? So, all right, turn on my mic. We're all ready to go. All right. Right hand, fist, power, left hand, fingers together, friendship, tucking in the thumb, humility, fist into the palm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see everyone. All right. From the Wuji position, I'm going to breathe from the belly. All right. Inhale the hands up. And exhale, relax the hands down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Push the hands in front of us next. Inhale to the heart. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Arms over the head next. Inhale to the heart. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Arms to the side. Make sure you don't hit anybody, all right? Inhale. It just never gets old, does it? Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time to the side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Giving a big hug. Inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling, floating the hands down. Nice and slow. Big, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow breath out. Inhale. and exhale. Arms in the diagonals. Inhale to the heart, left up, right down, exhale. Inhale to the heart, right up, left down, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Flap the arms like bird wings. Big, deep belly breath in. And long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And gathering chi. Big, deep belly breath in. And long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And there you go. That's our deep breathing exercises. Everyone good? All right. I realized why they call it May, the month of May, because it may snow, it may rain, it may be 80 degrees, it may be 20 degrees. Hence the month of May. Yeah, I didn't even have to look it up. So, yeah. All right. Warm-up exercises next. From that Wuji position, try and stand up nice and straight and tall, head lifted by that silk thread. I'm going to start with the chin tuck. Floating the hands up, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin down to the chest. Again, we float the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, keep looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest. One more time, floating the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, keeping that chin level. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest. Beautiful. Next neck exercise, looking side to side. Starting from the prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, right hand is on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And we come back to center. Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top, watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And come back to center. Make sure you're turning that neck. Right hand is on top, left hand, left shoulder. I'm looking over the left shoulder, feeling that stretch in the neck. And then I come back to center. Now the left hand is on top. Now I'm looking over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center. Right hand is on top. Left hand, left shoulder. Make sure you're looking to the left. Feel that nice stretch. And we come back to center. Left hand is on top. Right hand, right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center, come back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Forward shoulder circles next. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. You're trying to keep that straight posture, all right? Bringing the shoulders back and then up, then forward and down. Shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Don't look down in front of you. Look straight ahead. Shoulders back, and then up, then forward, and down. Now reverse. Shoulders forward, and then up, then back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Awesome. Next exercise for our shoulders, gathering chi. Imagine someone is very gently pulling on your wrists. Gently, we're reaching out, reaching up, and then relax the hands down. Gently reaching out, reaching up, opening, expanding the body, and relax the hands down. One more time, gently reaching out, reaching up, and relax the hands down. Very nice. Touching heaven and earth. Starting out, prayer hand position. Left hand goes up, right hand goes down. We're gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. Left hand up, right hand down, gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. Right up, left down, floating the head gently towards the ceiling. And come back to center. One more time. Left up, right down, stretching the spine. Coming back to center. And then right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And then we come back to center, come back to prayer hands, relax the hands down. Awesome. Carrying the ball side to side. From the prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top. Think about where your elbow is. You want that elbow up. All right, that's going to help work the back a little bit. Gently turning to the left. We turn the ball over, right hand's on top, and then gently turn to the right. Stay on that right side, turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Stay on the left side, turning the ball over, right hand's on top, gently turn to the right. Stay on the right side, turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Stay on the left side, turning the ball over, right hand's on top, gently turn to the right. And then we turn the ball over, we come back to center, prayer hand position, and relax the hands down. Awesome. Go ahead, shake those legs loose really fast. We're going to do one more exercise before we sit down. We're going to do a leg strengthening exercise, all right? Everybody goes, yes, that's awesome. So, from the Wu-Ji position, make sure you keep your knee bent. Make sure you keep your body straight. Use your chair if you need to. Try to keep looking straight ahead, all right? Weight shifts to the left. Bend in the left knee, right foot, cat stance. Tapping right toe to the front, empty. And cat stance. Tapping right toe to the side, empty. and cat stance. Then tapping right toe behind us, empty. And cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Other side, weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, use your chair if you need to. Left cat. Try and keep all the weight on the right. Left foot to the front, empty. And cat stance. Tap left toe to the side, keeping all your weight right. And cat stance. And then tapping left toe behind us, empty. Awesome. Cat stance. And back to Wu Ji. Awesome. Shake those legs loose. Want to do that one more time? Extra strength on your legs, or I don't want to tire you out. Do it one more time. All right. So same thing, one more time. Can that just help us with our legs a little bit? It's a beautiful day outside, right? Weight shift to the left, right foot cat. Tapping right toe to the front, empty. And return to the cat stance. Tapping right toe out to the side. Try to step out. Don't slide the foot. Try to step out. And then step back into the cat stance. And then step. Our right foot is backwards. Plenty of space between the feet. And then step back into cat stance. And back to Wu Ji. Other side, weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, left foot, cat stance. Tapping, left toe to the front. Again, make sure you're stepping, not just sliding the foot. And then back to the cat stance. Tap, left toe to the side, empty. And cat stance. And tapping the left toe behind us. Plenty of space between the feet. Make sure the feet aren't right next to one another. And then cat stance. And back to Wu Ji. Now I know you're feeling it. All right. Shake your legs loose. Good job. Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. Where is it? I had one for you. I have to read it, though. Make sure I get it right. A woman is on trial for beating her husband to death with his guitar collection. The judge said, first offender? She said, no, first to Gibson, then offender. I figured that one would hit here. I don't know why. All right. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, sitting up on the edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, knee above the ankle, rocking forward on the pelvis, head lifted by that silk thread. Good straight body posture. We're going to turn to the right-hand side of the chair. Concentrate first on what your legs are doing. Don't worry about what your hands are doing. Concentrate first on the legs. When you have the legs down, then worry about what your hands are doing, all right? Also remember, we're trying to keep the knee directly above the ankle. So I'm not doing this or this or this, but I'm doing this. And it concentrates the stretch here and in the hips, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate both hands and legs, all right? So prayer hand position, gently pushing against that imaginary right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that stretch in the hip. Nice. And come back to center. Pushing against that imaginary right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. And come back to center. One more time, pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. Good job. And come back to center. Relax the hands down. And then shift to the left-hand side of the chair. Same thing. From prayer hand position, push against the imaginary left wall and open up the right leg. Again, feeling that stretch. And then we come back to center. Pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg, feeling that nice stretch. And come back to center. One more time, pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg, feeling that nice stretch. And we come back to center and relax the hands down. Turn back to center and shake those legs loose. Good job. Next hip exercise, 2 motions, lifting the leg up, pushing the leg down, keeping the back straight, keeping the body straight, all right? So make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall. Don't try to not rock back on that hip bone, but instead kind of roll forward on the hip bone, head lifted by a silk thread, okay? All right, starting out with the left leg. We're lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us, lift the knee as high as you're able to while keeping your posture. And then relax. And then hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us, keeping the back and the body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. One more time, lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us. Keep the back and the body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Other side, lifting the right leg up, hands behind us. Keep the back and the body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. 2 more times. Lifting the right leg up, hands behind us. Keep the back and the body straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. 1 more time. We're lifting the right knee as high as you're able to, keeping the back and the body straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. And then shake those legs loose. So one of the goals on that exercise is you're trying to lift your knee as high as you're able to while keeping your body straight. All right, so we don't want to do this or this, where we're crunching forward. But you're trying to lift that knee as high as you're able to. So practice, just try and go just a touch higher. With, you don't want to push things too hard, but you're trying to stretch just a little more. Okay. That also helps with that lifting of the knee when we walk. So many times we have the Parkinson's shuffle where we're not bending our knee when we walk. So this helps us with that bending of the knee, and it's strengthening up our core muscles. All right? It's a good exercise to do. Okay. And I can tell from your faces that you all love it. All right. On to the heel kick. 4 motions with the leg, lifting the leg up. Does that look familiar? And then kicking the leg out, push out on the heel, up on the toe, lifting the leg back up, and then floating the foot to the ground. Back straight, body straight, okay? Punching out the opposite hand if you're able to, okay? So, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. We're gonna pick up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up that left leg, foot should be hovering at this point, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let the foot hover, and then float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Pause for just 1 second. So if you're having trouble doing this exercise, concentrate on lifting that leg up and setting it down. Don't worry so much about the kicking out. Um, so for instance, if I was doing this exercise and I would just kick and come back, that's not going to help me as much as lifting the leg and setting it down. Okay. So concentrate on that lifting of the leg. Okay. Hands loosely gripped at the belt line, picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up that left leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Again, picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out the left fist. And then picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. One more time because we're having so much fun. That was only 3 times, wasn't it? Okay, that's what I thought. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Shake those legs loose. Awesome. So, something to think about that is very helpful, just sitting up nice and straight and tall. I actually do this. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do it at just a short little interlude between kicks. So when we sit up straight and tall, we open up this part of our body and it becomes easier to breathe. When we're sitting like this, we start pushing all of the organs like our intestines and our kidneys and our stomach all start pushing on our diaphragm. And so one way to kind of show this is I'll have people bend over like all the way that they're able to. So if you bend over all the way and try and take a deep breath, you can't really do it. But if you're sitting up nice and straight and tall, it's a lot easier to take a deep breath. And that's because the diaphragm is right under our rib cage and it allows it that movement to push down and come back up. When I'm leaning forward like this, all those organs are pushing against the diaphragm and the diaphragm can't move. Breathing is essential, right? I mean, we can go, fairly long time without food. We can do pretty long without water. We can, probably, I think the record is like 11 days without water. You can go pretty long without water. You can only go minutes without breathing. So that breathing is really, really, really important. So sitting up nice and straight and tall allows us to breathe freer and easier. All right. So concentrate when, even a little bit every night, sitting up straight and tall, and breathing in and breathing out. Okay. That's one reason why when we meditate, at that point, I have you scoot back. So you use the back of the chair, but I have you sit up nice and straight and tall because it helps you breathe better. Okay. So it's really, really important to breathe well. Okay. All right. Toe kick. I'm going to do 4 of the toe kicks. Same thing we just did, but we're pointing the toe forward instead of pointing the toe up. We're not using the back of our chair. We're sitting up nice and straight and tall. Hands loosely clenched at the side, starting out with the left leg. Toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. We're going to do two more. Concentrate more on what your legs are doing than what your hands are doing, all right? It's important to get those legs strong. So, sitting up nice and straight and tall, picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground, picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. One more time, picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. Awesome. Shaking those legs loose. Good job. Any questions about those movements? The really, really good leg exercises. Good thing to practice during the week, all right? Because I know everybody practices at home. Every day. Sometimes multiple times per day, right? He's laughing too hard to answer me at this point. All right, let's get stand if you're able to. Let's do our ankles. And another. Told you guys that one. Now, I think I told you that one already. I know I told you that one. All right. I thought I had another one for you. Where did I see that one? All right. I'm sorry. I thought I had another one for you. Never mind. I thought I had one for you, but I can't remember it. Must be an old one. All right. There's not a whole lot of new Tai Chi jokes there, so it's an ancient exercise. All right. Ankle exercise. Use your chair. Weight shift to the right. Bend in the right knee. Get all your weight on the right. Left foot touch heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Try and get all your weight on the right. Use your chair. Heel and toe. Heel, toe. One more time. Heel and toe. Then shift all your weight to the left. Bend in the left knee. Right foot. Heel and toe. Heel. Oh, be careful. Sure. All the weights to the left. Right foot. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Don't look at your feet. Look straight ahead. Learn to feel what your feet are doing. Heel, toe, heel, toe. And one more time. Heel and toe. And back to center. That is another exercise in your daily practice. Make sure that you're doing that exercise. It's a real simple exercise, but don't let its simplicity fool you. It's a really, really, really good exercise. In fact, most of you know about my brother and everything. So when my brother was over in the hospital, they didn't have pressure cuffs for his feet. And he was considered a balance risk. When I went to see him in the hospital, first thing I said was, you've got to do this exercise because it helps blood flow through the legs. But there's a lot of other things it helps also. But it's a really simple exercise, really important exercise, all right? Second ankle exercise, weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, left foot, little toe, and then big toe. Outside and inside. Little toe, big toe, outside, and inside. Then shift weight to the left, right foot, little toe and big toe, outside, inside, little toe, big toe, little toe, and big toe. And then come back to center. Those ankle exercises, really, really simple to do, but really important, all right? All right, now forward, backward hip exercise, the hokey pokey, all right? Tapping the heel in front of us, tapping the toe behind us, keeping plenty of space between our feet, lifting the knee between touching the heel and touching the toe, okay? Make sure you use your chair. Don't look down at your feet, look straight ahead. Your body will tell you exactly what's going on. If you're stepping too narrow, you're going to be fighting your balance. If you step wide like you should, your body will feel nice and calm. You won't be fighting your balance, all right? So weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee, empty left heel, hands behind us or using the chair. And then we lift the knee, empty on the left toe, hands in front of us. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel, keeping all your weight on the right. Pause for the way you're stepping. See the feet are in, yeah, there you go. There you go. You want to make sure you keep space between your feet. Empty on the heel, hands behind us. And then we lift the knee, empty on the toe, hands in front of us. Make sure you're keeping plenty of space between your feet as you do that. Make sure you're keeping plenty of space between your feet. Your feet are like your, okay, come back to center for just a second. There you go. Straighten yourself. That'll help you. So I'm not trying to be mean by pointing it out, but I want to make sure that you're doing stuff safely. All right. So when I step like this, it's not a very safe way. You're setting yourself up for a fall. So instead, step wider. See, so this foot. There you go. Wider. So this foot step wider as you step back. There you go. There you go. Excellent. Perfect. 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 All right. So let me see. We got one more to do on this side. Weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee, empty left heel, hands behind us. And then we lift the knee, empty left toe, hands in front of us. Don't step with your feet close together. Step wider. There you go. Perfect. And come back to center. Did you feel how much more comfortable that was? You weren't fighting your balance. Did you feel that? Okay. So other side, weight shifts to the left, bending the left knee, empty right heel, hands behind us. And then empty right toe, hands in front of us. Nice. Lifting the knee, using that chair if you need to, empty on the heel, hands behind us. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe, make sure you're stepping wide. Good job, gentlemen. And I use that term loosely. Lifting up the knee, empty on the heel. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet when you do this. And then empty on the toe. And come back to center. Awesome. Shake those legs loose. Good job. We want it in our habit that when we step backwards, we step wide, okay? So, moving on from that exercise, building on that exercise, now we're going to step out empty and then shift our weight 70%, 30%. Then we shift our weight back. We don't move the feet yet, and then come back to center, okay? So turn like straight. There you go. All right. So we're going to do just the feet first. All right. Weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee. I'm stepping out empty left foot. No weight on the left. Now shifting about 70% of the weight on the left leg, 30% on the right leg. Now shifting the weight back and come back to center. Same thing, other side, weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right. Make sure there's plenty of space between your feet. Shifting 70% of the weight to the right, keeping that back heel down. Shift that weight forward onto that right leg. And then shift weight back and come back to center. Again, weight shifts to the right, stepping out empty left, shifting left, keeping the right heel down. Weight shifts back and come back to center. Shifting the weight left, stepping out empty right. Shifting right, keeping that left heel down. And then weight shifts back and come back to center. So we can add hands if you want to. If you need to use your chair, use your chair. If you want to add the hands, you weight shift to the right, step out empty left. As you shift weight left, you punch right hand, opposite hand. Weight shifts back, not moving the feet, and then come back to center. Other side, weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right, shifting right, punching left. Weight shifts back, not moving the feet, and come back to center. One more time. Weight shifts to the right, stepping out empty left, shifting left, punching right, bow stance. Weight shifts back and come back to center. And then shift weight to the left, stepping out empty right, shifting right, punching left, bow stance. And then weight shifts back and come back to center. Awesome. Feet are directly across from one another at this point. And just as an FYI, to expand it into the prayer wheel, as you step out empty, you're just shifting, you're rocking your weight 70-30, all the weight on the back leg. 70-30, all the weight on the back leg. So you're just shifting your weight forward and backwards. And as you're doing that, you're bringing the hands up, moving the hands in a beautiful circle. So that exercise, it's interesting how they all, I think it is, it's how they all build off of one another. So first we're stepping empty heel and empty toe. Then we step out empty and do the bow stance. Then we can practice the prayer wheel where we're shifting our weight forward and backwards. And we can eventually turn that into what they call the Tai Chi walk, where you're actually doing weight shifting and walking forward. So they all kind of build off of one another, which I think is very interesting. So as you're doing the Tai Chi walk, plenty of space between the feet, right? So make sure you're not doing this, but doing this, right? When you get really good at your balance, you can like walk the tightrope, right? But don't do that normally. You want your feet on railroad tracks, right? So you have plenty of space between the feet. All right? Does that make sense? All right. Practicing the Tai Chi walk. All right, let's sit down, do a couple exercises from the chair, and then we'll meditate. All right, so we're sitting up nice and straight and tall. We're going to turn to the left side, turn to the right side. Keep the body straight. Don't force anything as we turn to the left. Hold that position, breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center and pause, and then turn to the right. Not forcing things, right? You feel that tension on the body, stay right there and breathe in and breathe out, okay? So we're not forcing anything. So linking the fingers together, stupid cord. Linking the fingers together in front of us, bringing the hands up over the head, if you're able to, turning to the left. Feel the stretch and hold that position. Inhale and exhale. And then we turn to the center and pause. Turning to the right, feel the stretch in the torso. Hold that position. Inhale and exhale. And coming back to center, pausing. To the left, not forcing anything. You're breathing relaxation into the muscles. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to center. And then to the right. Inhale and exhale. and then back to center. Pause at the center, relax the hands down. Awesome. Works the arms, doesn't it? All right. Next exercise, we're going to lean from one side to the other side. All right. So again, you're not forcing anything. You're just going to feel that tension and stop right there. Breathe in, breathe out. You're going to pause at the center and then lean to the right. Okay. So again, linking the fingers together, hands up over the head. I'm leaning to the left. Find that spot. Inhale and exhale and come back to center and pause. Leaning to the right. Inhale and exhale. Hold that position and then we come back to the center and pause. Leaning to the left, breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the center, pause, leaning to the right, breathing in, breathing out, and then we come back to the center and pause and relax the hands down. Isn't that fun? All right. You're the only person who said yes. You doing all right? Okay. Just making sure. All right. So the last exercise. So the first one helped our rotational ability. The second one helped build flexibility to the spine side to side. Now flexibility to the spine forward and backwards. All right. Remember, you want to be very gentle on this exercise. It's easy to push yourself too hard and maybe injure yourself. So be really careful with this. All right. My hands are on my legs. So when I lean over, and I'm tucking in the chin. When I come back to center, if I need to push off of my legs, my hands are right there to do that, all right? And then we're arching the back and gently looking up, but not forcing anything. We want to be very gentle, okay? It's really easy to go too far with this exercise, so just be very cautious, okay? So sitting up nice and straight and tall. We're going to lean forward, whatever is comfortable for you, tucking in the chin. I'm looking on the floor, back behind my heels, and rounding that neck, rounding the back. And then I come back to center. I'm pushing off of my legs if I need to. I pause in the center, and then I arch the back and gently look up. Again, being very gentle, not forcing anything. And then coming back to center. Pausing at the center. I'm leaning forward, tucking in the chin, coming down, using your hands to slow your descent if you need to. And then we come back to center, gently raising yourself up, pushing off of the knees if you need to. We're back to center, and then arching the back and gently looking up. Feel that nice stretch. And then we come back to center. Awesome. All right, there we go. How's that feel? So when I trained, which was really a cool honor, there's a gentleman named Dr. Yang Juin Ming, who's very prolific. I've read a lot of his books. He's very, very prolific. And I got to train with him one weekend. And I sat down and talked to him about people with Parkinson's. And he said he thinks those exercises, the exercise I just gave you, he believes that those are very, very good exercises for people with Parkinson's. And it's helping kind of work those core muscles, but increase that flexibility and that mobility in the spine. And so that's one reason why we're concentrating on those. But he's very learned, to say the least. He came from China, studied at Purdue, got a mechanical engineering degree at Purdue. But he found that, so he was with the other students, get the mechanical engineering degree, but those people wanted to learn more about Tai Chi. So I don't know if he ever worked with his mechanical engineering degree, but he has like 40 different books out. Very, very prolific. Very interesting guy. His name is Dr. Yang Jun Ming. So, very interesting guy. Very interesting guy. All right, we're going to do some meditation. He taught a class that I took on, I guess it was Saturday. He taught a class called it's a Chinese technique called Fa Jing, and it's a way to lock your joints up. And so I did a whole day of this joint locking. Had different partners. Had one guy who was he was which was I think it was a keto. Um, anyway, is so interesting. Like if somebody reaches out, you can grab their hand and lock their joints and drop them to their knees. It's really interesting. I've got a picture of me on my phone somewhere where Dr. Yang Jun Ming was holding onto my hand and I was on my knees. And it's like he could have broken my fingers if he wanted to, but he was nice and gentle. But just like dropping me, to my knees. It's quite interesting. Different joint locks you can do like that. Quite very, very, very interesting. He understands the martial arts side. He understands the qigong side. So, all right, I'll shut up. Let's do some meditation. All right. So, sitting up, nice and straight and tall. All right. Any questions about meditation? All right. It gets easier as you do it more. All right. So, closing the eyes, taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're clearing the mind of any thoughts, cleansing the mind. Inhale, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, cleansing the mind. Let's do that one more time. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. And then as we breathe out, imagine clearing your mind of any thoughts. Just letting those thoughts escape. Just focusing just on your breathing. Now let's start with our feet. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. And as we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your feet. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the feet, relaxing our feet. Onto our legs. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine we are breathing out through our legs, relaxing our legs. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the legs, relaxing our legs. Onto our hips. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your hips, relaxing your hips, relaxing your bottom. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the hips, relaxing our hips. Onto our belly. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're exhaling through your navel, relaxing all those muscles at the front of the belly. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the belly, relaxing our belly. Onto our inner stomach, taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through that inner stomach. You're letting go of your tension. You're letting go of your anxiety. Inhale, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the inner stomach, relaxing that inner stomach. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, one last time through the inner stomach, releasing all of that anxiety, releasing your tension. On to the lower back. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, exhaling through the lower back, relaxing the lower back. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the lower back, relaxing our lower back. And then we'll wrap it up by breathing through the skin. So take a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As you breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through our skin. Imagine breathing out through the whole body, relaxing the whole body. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the whole body, relaxing the whole body. And that's probably a good place to stop. Just feel your body relaxed right now. Isn't that a nice feeling? By the way, I don't see any tremors in this room right now. That's pretty amazing. And it didn't take any medication. You did this yourself. So when you feel yourself anxious, nervous, angry, remember your feeling right now. You did this yourself. Okay? You guys look so gentle. I don't want to turn on the light, but I need to. So watch your eyes. We're going to turn on the overhead light. I see everybody in this room getting better at meditating. When we first started meditating, it took a little while to get in that meditative state. But I see it's happening more readily, if you will. Some days better than others, and that's to be expected. You have some bad days, right? So it's that combination of everything. But you keep doing it. You do it more on bad days than good days. But try that meditation at home. When you have that night you can't sleep, try some meditation, okay? Awesome. You guys did awesome. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Well, you were there. Yeah, definitely. Don't forget. But you guys were there when she became a mother, so there you go. So you guys, you get a Mother's Day also. Just don't tell them I said that, okay? All right. You guys take care, all right? Sure.